Brown cow. That's our thing.
Bam, bam, bam.
Where'd you get that from again? Anchorman?
The Anchorman, yeah.
All right. Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Reps That Count podcast. We are your hosts. I am Valentz.
And I'm Adam. And the Reps That Count podcast is a podcast just to give awareness to the moments in life that we should be paying attention to, and also to give a voice to the human experience that we're all going through. So we're not experts in mental health. I'm an expert in fitness, kind of. But we go through things just like everyone else, and we just wanted to make awareness towards that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, Adam. Welcome back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's been a great week.
Absolutely.
It's a new year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, man. It's officially a new year, man. All right. So this is the first time I'm asking you this question of the year.
Yes.
And I got to ask, what is something that you've done in the past week, in the last 7 days, that you are proud of?
Full transparency. So I laid out all my cards.
Okay.
Financial cards, relationship cards, what I've been ignoring, what I've been paying too much attention to, what I haven't been paying enough attention to. And I've started to create systems to make these things better.
Okay.
So just getting a little more organized, and I've created task lists every day, and I've checked off all those tasks every single day, which has been amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How many days in a row so far?
So I started on Monday, and today's Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going well. I think being able to make that tally mark every single day, it just feels good. So I am doing my 100 marbles towards the new me. And so far I'm on track.
All right. I like that, man. I like that. All right. For me, it's, I guess, more fun, more leisure.
Yeah, let me know.
I played pickleball.
Yes.
Pickleball.
We played pickleball
We
together.
did play pickleball. You invited me out on Saturday.
Yep.
I went out, and I am proud of that whole experience. It was like...
I got to talk to you guys about this. So I invited him to play with us. We rented a court.
Did you?
Yeah. The last court was our court.
Oh, for real? I didn't even know. I didn't even know. I showed up late.
So I showed up late, and he started playing with random people.
The first game I played with you guys.
Yeah. He made friends with everyone at this pickleball gym. Every single person.
Shout out to Fooney, my Korean coach.
He was embedded in the pickleball community. We left an hour and a half later. He stayed.
I did. Were you still there when I walked out?
No.
Okay. Because when I walked out, you text me like, yo. I was like, damn, is he still here?
It just threw it was like a random thought. I was like, he's fucking stayed.
I did. Bro, it's been a very long time since I've done something for the first time, I think. Like, I don't remember what it felt like to not know what was going on.
That's cool.
I literally didn't know how to score or how to count score until the very last game I played. I was just
it was very confusing. Actually.
Yeah. I finally understood it.
Sides.
Yeah.
When do I switch, bro?
I finally like understood it. Like after but yeah, it was humbling. Like I had like older gentlemen like telling me things, and I'm like, all right,
those
you know what I mean? Like,
don't play around, bro. They're good.
Yeah,
guys, if you haven't played pickleball, I highly recommend it. It's so fun, so fun,
and I sweated. It was an actual workout.
I'll be honest. It was the first time I spent an hour where I wasn't thinking about other things other than what was only in front of me. Yeah. Which was cool. That was a cool experience.
It was awesome. So, yeah, man, shout out to pickleball. Shout out to the pickleball community. And shout out to you for inviting me, man.
Course,
I appreciate it, dude.
I
appreciate it. Oh, yeah, we got to run it back.
We're going to enter tournaments because that's how my mind works.
Tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to be ready.
I was looking up crazy paddles. I was looking...
like carbon fiber paddles and stuff.
You got to wear the right shoes, though.
Yeah, man, my feet were hurting. Like,
hurt, dude. Yeah. Like if I did 7 CrossFit workouts in a row, that's how bad my feet hurt.
Like I had blisters. Like I ran a few miles, man. It was a lot of start and stop, and
I need the pickle shoes.
Oh yeah. Some fickle shoes would be nice. All right.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So that question right there is not just for us. Sorry, I'm fixing my chair. If you're listening or watching this on YouTube, feel free to answer it either in the comment section, answer it to yourself, write it in your journal, or tell Coach Adam next time you see him.
Yep.
So, all right, and let's get to our topic. I think we got a great one today.
I like this one.
All right, cool. Go ahead and introduce the topic to our listeners.
So the SOP of your life, the standard operating procedures of your life. Every great company in the world has an SOP for every single role in their company. So there's always something to fall back on, guidelines, right? So if there's a tough decision to be made, it's not really a tough decision because we just refer back to the rule book, right? Mm-hmm. And you can have some deviation and it could be fluid, but it still has to sit in these guidelines.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to have that if you're an entrepreneur or if you work for a company, but also for your life.
Just in general, yeah.
These guiding principles to guide you through life the way you want to live it.
Yeah, I love that. So, we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about what mission statements, visions and missions and purposes, and we'll go down a few paths. But you had a definition, right? That you kind of
SOP?
Yeah.
So it's just your standard operating procedure, but it's broken down. So first, you need to have a purpose, or you should at least be searching for your purpose. Life is lived best when it has purpose.
Okay.
Really important, man. And when I feel like I'm straying away from my purpose, I feel it, dude. Turmoil. My mind is crazy. Everything is just chaotic, and my perspective kind of changes and gets blurry.
Okay.
The closer I am to my purpose, when I feel like I'm living in my purpose, everything is just so clear. Like the colors in life are just even more clear.
More vibrant.
Yeah, more vibrant.
Yeah.
So having a purpose, my purpose, it used to be to, help people get more fit, all this stuff. And what I realized, it's changed to a more broad sense where I want to help people feel good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that might just be saying, man, your beard looks great today.
Oh, I've been brushing it.
Yeah, it looks great.
Look at that. You just made my day, man.
And that made my day. So it's this reciprocal energy of just, if you're giving out positive energy to people and you're just helping them just feel a little bit better in this crazy life that we live. We all are experiencing the same thing just through different lenses. And if we could just make it a little more better for people, why not do that?
Yeah.
That costs nothing, dude.
Yeah.
What's your purpose?
So this is actually something I'm kind of working on. Like, I don't necessarily have it like broken down, but essentially I want to be somebody that people want to be around. Right. Like, I want to, like, when I walk into a room, I just kind of uplift the room and I bring in positive energy. Like, I want to be, I guess, the charger for people around.
Ooh.
I mean, like, that's my purpose in life, to just help motivate people and just have everyone around me operating at like their highest possible like momentum or whatnot. So that's
so
like the
funny.
way.
No, it's it's similar to my purpose, but we spoke about this even before we started this, where I do think one day you will go into coaching, and not fitness coaching, but more purpose coaching, life coaching, action coaching, because you are that guy. No one's ever said. People tell me so. No one's ever said anything bad about Valentz.
I appreciate that.
You're just a positive person to be around.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and so that's really like where I get my joy. Like, just like helping people elevate. Like, no matter what they're trying to get into, no matter if somebody's trying to start a business, like, I'm the guy that's gonna be like, yeah, like go for it. Like, I'm going to be that voice that helps you take the step forward.
Yep.
And that's what I want that's how I want to be remembered. I want to be the person that was
that's
like,
important.
Yeah, I want to be, somebody be like, man, I remember when I was in I had to make this tough decision, and, Valentz helped guide me through it or whatnot. So that's, I guess, my purpose.
So this is weird, but I imagine that. I imagine that, like, I died. It's cool. whatever. And just these thousands of people that I've helped.
Yeah.
Just telling stories about how I helped them.
Yeah, I feel like I've been through that too. Like I've imagined my funeral.
Yeah.
Like I have. Like I really have, man. Like, and I think that's a great way to start off and think of your purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
To imagine what people will say about you at your funeral. Imagine how many people would even show up to your funeral.
Yeah.
Like how many people would cancel things or take trips and travel just to tell your family how much you meant to them.
Yeah. I think that's important, man, because this life is about connection.
Mm-hmm.
The way they punish the most heinous criminals on the planet is to put them alone.
Isolate
them.
Yeah, put them in a box.
That is the biggest punishment that someone can have, is to be alone. That says that we're supposed to be together. We're supposed to connect.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important. You know, you should think about that. Like, if you don't think anyone is going to show up, maybe you have some reflecting to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's cool because I think last episode I talked to you about the book Tuesdays with Maury.
Yeah.
I finished that book.
I gotta pick
it up. I could lend you the copy. It's a quick read, but essentially it is about death, right? And just how a lot of people just go through life chasing things that don't really matter, and you don't really get to appreciate the human experience, right? You don't appreciate the conversations that you have with your friends. You're never, a lot of individuals, like, they'll be talking to you, but they're thinking about work. Yeah. They're thinking about, school, or all of the hundreds of thousands of things that, that's going on in the world. And that book spoke about that, and really just learning how to be in the moment and not allowing the outside world to dictate how you live your life.
Oh yeah, that's big.
Yeah,
that's big, man. Super important. And that brings us to the next part. After you find your purpose, or you're not going to find your purpose easily, like this, and it's going to evolve throughout time.
It can change,
but you should look at the vision of your life. What do you want? What's your big, hairy, audacious goal for your life in totality? And I don't think that's an endpoint. I think you have to look at it as the accumulation of years and the direction that you want your life to go in. So you have to look at it at the far lens, but you have to look at the journey as well, because life is only a journey.
Yeah.
The endpoint's death. So
everybody gets there, right?
Yeah. What you want that journey to look like, what would be the most beautiful version of that journey for you, because the only limitations are the ones in our mind, right? And I envy, and this is the only thing that I envy, is people that don't set those limitations on themselves. Like people, like these dreamers, these big dreamers that grew up with nothing. They were like, I know I'm going to be Kanye.
Yeah.
Wow. What balls.
Yeah.
What,
100%.
These are dreamers, but powerful dreamers. Dave Chappelle, his new stand-up, he talks about that. He's a powerful dreamer. He always.
Oh yeah. I got to see that in person.
Really?
Yes. I got to see that in person. I got to see that. But yeah,
that's powerful.
Was it the joke about? I'm sorry. Was it a joke about Lil Nas X?
Yeah. That's powerful. Yeah. You could tell Lil Nas X was like this from day one. That's a dreamer. That's a dreamer. I'm in his dream. So don't be afraid to dream big. This vision should be massive.
100%.
It should feel like you cannot get there. This version of you today will not get you there.
Absolutely. You got to be different. You got to be different.
Yep. I think that's powerful.
Yeah.
And once you have that, these steps are going to appear. You still have to do the work. You still have to daily do the work, and you still have to create the roadmap, but the steps will appear. If you don't have that, if you don't have a purpose and a vision of what you want it to look like, there is no steps. Yeah. You're just coasting and going from one thing to the next.
Yeah, I love that, man. So yeah, 100%, like have your vision, And again, you can start with the end in mind, right?
Yep.
Which is like we spoke about, like everybody dies.
Yep.
So, if you could go back to that day where, you're being laid to rest, like what did that vision look like? What was your purpose here?
And I think we have similar ones. We want to be surrounded by people that we helped and people that we love. And in the journey, I want to spend as much time with my family as possible, which controls, like, I won't take a traveling job. I won't, right? Because that's not aligned
That's going to take away
my family time.
Yeah. So I think that right there would bring us to the purpose, our purpose or our principles.
Our principles.
Principles, yeah.
Our core values.
Yeah.
That's another word for it.
Yeah.
Where if I say family is my core value, but I'm out playing pickleball 3 hours a day and I am traveling for work constantly, and then I only see my kid for 10 minutes in the morning and then
10 minutes
before bed. Did I really create a life that aligns with that core value? No. And it might just be subconsciously you didn't, but unless these things are priorities in your life and everything else revolves around your core principles and your priorities, it's not a real priority and it's not a real core principle. You might say that, you might think that is a core value, but it's not if your life doesn't reflect that. And I had to learn that the hard way several times in my life. I say I'm this person, but are the steps and actions that I'm doing on a daily basis reflecting that core value? If it's not, then that's not real.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. And I think some of the best businesses or brands, like they have their core values and like they don't deviate from it, right? So, like Publix, right? Publix was like the last grocery store to get self-checkout.
Yeah.
Like machines.
Yeah.
They have, for some reason, I don't know if they got a new CEO or something, but they started getting them now. But that was one of the last places you would see a self-checkout machine, because their whole thing was where shopping is a pleasure.
And it was very employee-centric.
Yes.
You could retire, back in the day, I don't know if now, you could retire from Publix and do well.
Yeah.
They're 100%. Like 401k was like crazy. Like their benefits were insane. Like they hire a bunch of special needs people. Like that's a company.
Yeah. So you kind of have to have that in yourself also. Like, yeah.
Ben Bergeron talks about it. I forgot. It was like Disney or ABC. I don't know.
But I think they're the same company. Well, all the companies are together. Yeah.
But remember Roseanne, the show?
Oh, yeah.
And then she said some bigot shit and got in trouble.
Yeah.
And she was the highest producing show on that network.
And they had to let it go.
And they fired her the same day. Didn't matter because it was against one of the core values. So it makes decisions a lot. When you write these core values out and you live by your core values and your principles within that parameter, it makes decisions so much easier. You're not as easily distracted. You're not, you don't have to sit there and think about, is this the right thing? Because your rule book is right there in front of you, very present. It's a part of who you are.
Yeah. So, the book that I read that talked about this is, again, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? So they, like, there's a chapter on like how you're centered, right? So being principle centered is what they kind of teach in the book, where there's individuals you could be family centered, right? So if you're family centered, like your decisions is affected by your family.
Okay.
Right? If you are work centered, like your decision and your security is based on where you work. Okay. And your job. So if you get fired, then your whole life is in shambles, right? If you're money centered, then your value is only based on your income. But if you're principle centered, then you could have like your principles that affect those things instead of having those things affect you. So when it comes time to making decisions, right? If part of your principle is, you know, your family, when you're at work, if your boss is like, hey, I need you to stay late to complete such and such, and you're like, no, that's not part of, like, right? If you have to make the two decisions between going to your daughter's recital or staying late for work, like, it's easier to decide, hey, I'm going to this recital because this is where, you know, this is what I'm centered. This is what I care about more. But just having those principles makes it so that when something goes wrong with the outside things, like, it doesn't throw you off.
I love that. And I think that's the way we all should be. We have these principles. They're principles for a reason. Let's stick to them.
Yeah.
You know, and I've gone against my principles. That's never worked out for me.
It never feels good.
That's never.
No. And you regret it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, some of these things take a while to recoup from. This happened to me last week. Mike, my coach, one of my closest friends, left, and it was his going away workout here. My sister was in town. I see my sister twice a year.
Oh,
that wasn't even a question for me.
I got you,
Mike. I will see you later.
Yeah.
It's family is one of my core values, and I hope it is his too. You know, it's just. You know, it's just the way it is. I cannot deviate from these core. I just can't.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. So again, just think of like your core values. Think of the things that are important to you. And again, those things might change, right? Because before you have a family and a kid, you might just be trying to climb the corporate ladder, right? Yeah. You might just want to earn as much as possible, but how you earn that is affected by your core values.
I think that's why it's important to have them in order of importance, because you're going to have conflicting situations in your life that might conflict with two core values. Like, let's say finances is in there because it should be for all of us, right? If family came first on the list, then you don't have to make that decision as easily. I mean, as difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, it could be I want to earn enough to take care of my family.
Yeah.
Right. But you still have to be able to take care, like taking care of your family is still like the purpose.
What was it? It was assess. What's the C? Like, it's big in the military, but it's the ACE acronym.
I don't know.
It's like assess, coordinate, execute, or something like that. But you have to assess the situation, right? Because if you missed this thing that could have got you a promotion to go to Disney with the family for this 37th time, that might have not been the best move for your family. So although family comes first, it's not necessarily the amount of time is quality of time. And if making that meeting was going to give you a better income to better provide for your family in the long run, that might have still been putting your family first.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. See, again.
Yeah,
So,
no, I knew what you were trying to say.
So exactly. So sometimes you know, you got to outweigh the decisions, but you're going. It makes it easier to figure out which decision is the right one. So I love that.
What are some of your principles or core values?
Okay, so I was actually like trying to think about it, because I feel like it's some of them might be like one word, and then some of them might be like a sentence or whatnot. But like for me, respect, like all like respect, and both like giving and receiving respect. Like, so if I feel like I'm not getting respected in like a situation or in a room, then I can't be part of it, because, you know, respect is give and take. So respect is like really big for me. And then another one that I more like recently started thinking about is like living like today might be my last day.
100%.
right? So
Amor fati, which is Greek for you might die today.
Yeah. So so living
keep
like
front of mind or something.
Yeah, like that. So basically, like keep like just knowing that I'm not immortal, right? Like I could die whenever. So just having that, it helps me appreciate things more. And just live in the moment. Like so, I think live in the moment is another one. But I always start with self, and then from there I go out and expand. But family is like right after that. So I feel like I have to make sure I take care of myself first, and then I could go out and take care of family, then friends, and
100%.
So
everyone should have self.
Yeah, like yourself got to be first. You can't do anything for anyone else if you're not your best self.
Yes. I have to do this with clients a lot. Men and women. I can't even say more women clients. Men and women, where we go through a list of their priorities and their schedule and all this, and there's no time for self. And they've built a life where there is absolutely no time for self, or they think.
And sometimes it's because they give too much time to social media.
Sometimes it's too much time to family. Sometimes it's too much time to other obligations. But if you're not taking care of yourself, your health, if you say you do not have an hour a day for health, then your priorities are wrong, because you're not going to be there for your family long enough.
True.
Self is important. It has to come first for every single person. A selfish life where you are taking care of yourself, and in the positive sense, where you are always prioritizing your mental and physical well-being, will let you provide for other people.
Mm-hmm. So take care of yourself, but don't necessarily be self-centered.
Yes.
That's another one of the sinners. That's another one of self-centered is part of that.
This book, bro.
Yeah, self-centered is part of that.
Guys, I've tried 3 times to read this book. That first chapter's
it's tough, but literally, like the first, like I don't know how many pages. It really just talks about changing your no. Because they talk about like having a paradigm shift and just understanding how people see the world. So you have to kind of understand that, and then go through the process. Yeah. It's a very long book, though.
So I have an exercise for us.
Okay.
And for everyone watching.
Man, I hope it's not box jumps. I'm tired of box jumps. I'm sorry. I just want to complain, okay? Box jumps, kettlebell swings.
We're done. No more. No more.
No more.
2024. No more.
No more.
It is writing out the SOP of your life.
Yeah.
Write out your purpose, your mission, or your vision. Write out your core values. Then write out this year, how are you going to live out those core values, and how are you going to get closer to that vision, and how is that intertwined with your purpose? And write it out into the month, into the week, into like really break this stuff down and keep it like so front of mind.
Okay.
Because it's so easy to get distracted from what we're actually here to do. And writing it out, I think writing's super powerful, man.
Yeah, 100%.
So writing it out makes it real. If it's just in your head, it's something you can forget so easy. But if you wrote it down, you made a contract with yourself.
All right. So that's our exercise.
Yeah, that's our exercise.
Yeah. I've been wanting to do that too.
I'll send you mine. I want you to send me yours.
Okay, let me write it down first.
Yeah.
Write it down, and then we can talk about it on the.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go through and give like the details of all that. Yeah. What else? I think we got like 15 more minutes before you have to go coach. So
yes. So we got core values. Once you have your core values, it allows you to make easier decisions, right? So we already spoke about this, but in terms of, let's say in the workplace, if you have your core values, like you value communication, it's easier to communicate with people. And for people, you expect people to communicate well with you. And I think communication, that's the one that I suck at and I'm working on.
Well, you say you did great this week.
Yeah, I did. This was a fire week, bro.
It's been a fire week for me too, bro.
So got to keep it going. Which I think is big. And being able to live through that path, you're just going to feel better. Every day that you're walking in the steps you're supposed to walk in just feels so much better, as opposed to the turmoil that you feel when you're not.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. All right. I just want to make sure. Let me refer to the notes.
Yeah.
That I wrote down.
I wrote down notes too, and then I didn't.
You forgot your notebook?
Yeah, it's right there. Bro.
Oh, it's all right. Let me see. I just want to make sure. All right. So purpose, mission, vision, and principle. I feel like we touched on all that.
Yeah. And then creating the actionable steps.
Yeah.
So important, right? Like, we got this, but if you're not doing it, if you're not executing on these things on a daily basis, if you're not creating the tasks that will bring you closer to living in that purpose, then we're not doing anything, right? So right out the top, like, how am I going to get there? Yeah, I think it's super important.
So, one of the ways like to do that is to go through like your the key roles that you play in life. Like you break down everything that you are. Like, I started writing this stuff down, right? So everything that you are and all of the things that you want to achieve. So, and this is how the book teaches you to make your to-do list.
Ooh.
So for me, like, I have like personal development, parent, family member, spouse, photographer, podcaster, support engineer, weightlifter, and like I put house care.
Okay.
Like, so based on those things, like, you would like write down what you need to do within those roles.
Love that.
So like for personal development, obviously like reading or, studying for a new like skill or whatnot. And then like you'll just kind of break down and like you go through for every week, like all the things you have to do. So that's...
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, you got to finish this book.
I like breaking it down like that because then things don't fall by the wayside.
100%, because you start with the important things first.
Yeah.
Oh. Start with the important things first. See, I put self first, so personal care. Right after that is a parent. So my son is right after.
What are you doing for personal care? What are you doing in terms of parenthood? Yeah. I love that. I'm going to do that. Are you writing down like 3 things? Are you writing down unlimited amount of things?
It really depends on the week, right? Okay. On like what exactly is going on. So like, let's say if your kid has soccer practice or a recital or whatnot, so you would write what's going on in that week for your child, right? I have to make sure I have to do that. Like, you write down you just write down everything that has to be done, and then you organize them based on importance.
You know what I think is super important is the spouse one.
Yeah.
Because we're busy. We're all super busy, right? And I think that's the easiest one to let go.
Yeah.
Because you guys both get busy. And I think everyone's gone through this. We've gone through this where like we're seeing each other in passing,
where you're just cohabitating.
Yeah. And it's not on purpose. It's she's in school and I'm at work, and then I get home just in time for her to leave to school.
Yeah, and you're just kind of relieving. You're like tag team partners.
Tag team partners. And it's like, if you spent several weeks like that, there's a little bit of growing apart there. You have to, what did I do to, check that box as well.
But so like writing it down, you just, pick up flowers.
Yeah, exactly. Like the little things.
Yeah.
The little things.
Yeah.
I love that. So let's do some final thoughts.
Okay. All right.
You start.
You want me to start? All right. I'm going to start. I think I'm just going to read the quote. I'm going to read from this book a quote again. And then you're going to go, and then I have a closing thought.
Yes. After I leave?
Yeah. After you finish your thought. Okay. After your thought. Okay. I just want to touch on something real quick.
I was like, damn, bro, you kicking me out?
No, I'm not kicking you out, dude. Chill. All right. So this is like, again, this is a quote from The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it talks about principles and why you should be principle centered, right? Let's see if I could. I don't remember if I don't know. Last time I read out loud. So if I stumble, I don't care because I read. You feel me? I ain't tripping. All right. So principles don't react to anything. They don't get mad and treat us differently. They won't divorce us or run away with our best friends. They aren't out to get us. They can't pave our way with shortcuts and quick fixes. They don't depend on the behaviors of others, the environment, or the current fad for their validity. Principles don't die. They aren't here one day and gone the next. They can't be destroyed by fire, earthquake, or theft. Principles are deep, fundamental truth, classic truth, generic common denominators. There are tightly interwoven threads running with exactness, consistency, beauty, and strength through the fabric of life.
I love that. Love that.
So that's why, you should be try to be principle centered.
I love that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, man. So that's my closing thought on that.
In that, I just believe that is the way to happiness. When you go against your principles, that's when you feel some sort of angst and anxiety, and you just don't feel like you're living your true life or your best self. And I did that for a long time.
Yeah, you lose yourself.
Yeah. But if you're following your principles, you're just you.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your final?
All right. So Ryan, right? That was the individual that came up to. I want to talk about Ryan and really kind of go a little bit deeper than. So when we first started this podcast, we kind of joked about how people are going to judge us because we're guys with podcasts, all right? So, and that's just a running joke on the internet. And I think I sent you a video the other day of people getting busted for recording podcasts. And often there's people who go oh man, podcast equipment is too cheap. There's just a lot of individuals who just, for some strange reason, hate podcasters. And I get it. Some people just say things, but we're here just talking about our experience. And this past weekend, Ryan, one of our listeners, came up to me at the gym, introduced himself, and he told me what the thing he did that week that he was proud of, which is just a random question that I just started, we ask each other here. And, he was grateful for the podcast. And the thing that he actually did that week is something we spoke about, which is being present.
Yes.
So that was important to me. I love the fact that just sitting here talking could have that effect on somebody.
It's in line with our purpose.
It is. And the other thing I want to say is to the people who are afraid to start something, right? You're afraid to start the podcast. You're afraid to write the book or to start the business. Just understand that there's always going to be people who are going to talk bad. No matter what your dream is, there's always going to be somebody who's trying to shoot down your dream. I think Kanye West said that. But realize that those individuals don't have an issue with you. It's more of an issue with self-love. They don't really know how to love themselves. So they put that out into the world. Those individuals who are always on the internet arguing and putting people down. It's a personal issue.
Yep.
So yeah, don't let individuals try to deviate you from your purpose and your dream and your mission.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to.
I love that.
I
love that. And that was the goal, right? If we helped when we created this first podcast, it was hey, if we help 3 people, that's
we're
cool.
Good. Yeah,
we're good.
So,
we're good.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome, man. I'm happy we get to do this, and we're gonna do this when we're 90. So
yeah, let's do it, man. All right,
it's gonna be awesome.
So
All right,
that's
man.
it.
That's it. I'll see you next week.
Next week. Well, we got to do it earlier next week because I got to be in Miami
Yes.
on Wednesday. So
Whenever.
yeah,
Tuesday?
yeah.
Monday?
Or Wednesday morning. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I got to figure out when I got to leave. All right, everybody. Thanks again for joining us to another episode of the Reps That Count podcast. We appreciate you taking your time listening to us. We hope to see you again on the next episode.
Oh, I wrote a poem.
A poem?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. It's I got it somewhere, but
Oh, you're going
I
to
wrote
say
it earlier today.
Are you going to say it on the air?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I thought you were going to say it on the air.
But because I was thinking when you were talking, I was thinking that, oh, yeah, I did do something today, but
Okay.
so yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's something new.
Oh, okay. I got you. Your first poem?
Yeah, first poem ever.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. then.
I'm pretty hyped about it.
I love that.
It's short, but it's good.
How many lines?
It's like 4.
Okay.
Super short.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is
I'm
it
gonna
like
start writing poems.
Is it like a love poem?
Yeah, it's a love poem.
Ooh. Okay. You go. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. You get ready for Valentine's Day already?
I appreciate words so much, and it's something that I wanted to do. So
All right.
words are
Nice.
powerful, man.
Yeah, I used to write poems back in the day.
You did?
I wrote a few. Yeah. They're weird though, because I'm not reading.
I can't wait to hear these poems.
Why would you think you're gonna hear my poems if I can't hear yours?
No, I'm gonna share it with you, but it's not ready for the real world.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys. Peace out. Have a good one.